everybody, so today I wanted to talk about how to safely work out in warm weather. So one of the things we do is we always wait for the perfect weather, especially here in Chicago. In winter it's too cold, but then when it gets summer it's too hot, and we really never have those perfect 70, 75 degrees days with a nice cool breeze to work out in. And it is okay to work out in warm weather. We just need to know how to safely do it, and I would like to share that with you. So one of the first things you want to do is, just like with anything, you don't want to jump into it right away. So a lot of times we go from really cold weather in Chicago to really warm weather, and our bodies don't acclimate that quickly. So, or you're in an air-conditioned office and then you go outside and your body doesn't acclimate to the outside weather. So one of the most important things to do is get your body slowly adjusted, because the more you get your body adjusted to the weather, the easier it will be for your body to work out in the weather. So maybe go out for 5, 10, 15 minutes during your lunch break and just walk nice and slow, just so your body can get used to the heat. And once you get used to the heat, then you can start working out in the weather, because you don't want to put yourself in danger by working out too fast, too soon in extremely hot weather, because working out in heat can be very dangerous, especially if you don't do it all the time. Now, people who live in normally warm climates, their body is already adjusted and acclimated to working out in the hot weather because they're in the heat all the time. So you want to make sure that you adjust your body to work out in the heat, because then your body actually sweats more in hot weather, and the more acclimated you are, because your body is very efficient at learning how to cool itself. The second thing, most important thing to do when you're working out in warm weather, is you want to make sure you're wearing the proper clothes and the proper things. So one of the most breathable materials to wear is actually cotton. Just like in winter, cotton is one of the best materials to wear. You don't have to spend all that money, wear all that athletic material, because a lot of that material isn't breathable. It doesn't let your body sweat. It doesn't wick the sweat away from your body, and it just holds it. The reason your body cools itself is because the air goes on the sweat and the wind goes across it, and it cools the body. But if you're restricting that or keeping the sweat on there and not letting it dry off the normal way, when you're wearing all these certain athletic fabrics, that's when your body has to work harder to cool itself. So make sure you're wearing the proper materials, and also make sure you're wearing the proper things. Like, you want to make sure you're wearing sunscreen. I like to wear 2 different sunscreens, one for my face because my face is very sensitive, and a different type for my body, but you can wear the same one. The reason you want to make sure you're wearing sunscreen is not just because you're worried about sunburn or skin cancer, which also is super important, but if you spend too much time in the sun and there's no shade, you can get sun poisoning from being in the sun too long, because your skin is just soaking up too much UV rays. You start feeling faint and dizzy. This is not heat stroke, but sun poisoning, and you might even get nauseous. So putting on sunscreen really helps to prevent getting the sun sickness. And the third, I think we're on 3, the third most important thing is water. You want to make sure you're drinking enough water, but I want to add on, if you're in the sun or you're working out for a long period of time in the sun, you don't want to just be drinking water. You want to be adding salt to that water, and not a lot of people know this. Most distance runners do, because we're taught this, but a lot of people don't know this. You want to add salt to your water, and a lot of people think salt is bad, but when you're sweating and you're sweating all those electrolytes and salt out of your body, it's dangerous to keep drinking too much water without salt in it, because when you do, you can actually water poison your body, and that's when your muscles expand so much that because they don't have any salt in the body. And a lot of times runners have actually died from this. Your brain can expand and then you can die. So I know it sounds crazy and extreme, But you do want to make sure that you're adding salt to your water, especially if you're doing endurance distances, or you're just spending a lot of time outside, and if you excessively sweat, you want to make sure that you're doing that. And okay, so the fourth thing you want to do is you want to make sure you know the signs of heat stroke and heat sickness. So I don't know if anyone has ever experienced heat stroke or heat sickness. I've experienced heat sickness. That's the less extreme version. If you let heat sickness go too long, you can get heat stroke. So what it is it's your body telling you that you need to cool down. You might start feeling dizzy, faint. You might start feeling nauseous. If you have heat sickness and not heat stroke yet, you'll start getting the chills. But if you have, or your body will feel cold and clammy. If you have heat stroke, your body will feel really, really hot and warm to the touch. What you want to do in those situations, your body is telling you to stop. So you have to stop. Either find some shade or go inside. Don't water over your body. You have to cool yourself down. You cannot stay out when it's that hot for so long. So if you're in really, really hot weather, don't go to the extreme and work out crazy. If it's like 110 degrees and it's never been 110 degrees, don't go crazy and work out crazy, because you might put yourself in danger. You want to do your workout, but don't go too crazy until your body acclimates to those kind of temperatures. And the last thing, number 5, that I wanted to share with you about how to work out safely in the heat and how to know the signs of if you're not working out safely. The last thing I want to share with you is you want to make sure that you have somebody that knows where you are or what you're doing, just in case something happens. Tell them how much time you plan on being out there. So just so someone knows, in case something happens to you, say you're having like an issue, you can't walk, you start getting shaky, you start getting the chills or something, and an hour, 2 hours goes by and no one's there, at least they know to check up on you or drive to the place where you were so they can get you help. So hopefully this video helped you learn some of the signs and safety tips on how to work out in the heat. And if you have any other tips, let me know, because I know I missed a lot, especially if you're emergency personnel and you know about this. Please share your tips so that others can read it and be cautious. Hopefully this helped you, and I will see you next time.